The Early Museum is really a relic, and they're going to have a new one soon. Raising funds right now.
1-2. Ground ball foul outside of first. It is kind of a living, breathing history there in Kansas City. But that's the way I feel about working with you, Joe. I think that's what has made Red Sox fans fall so in love with you for more than 4 decades. 1-2 from Cutter. He throws, and Dominguez misses. Takes a fastball that misses high. It's 2-2. You have this uncanny ability to just bathe our fans in history. And your ability to hear any name from the last 40 years and go down memory lane is unmatched. 2-2 pitch is a high fastball. It's 3-2.
Well, thank you. But every once in a while I look at the Red Sox all-time roster. Did he really play any game with us?
Well, that's
not too many of those.
That's a rarity for you. 1 out, 1 on. 4-0 Yankees in the third, the 3-2. His strike 3 called to Dominguez on the outside corner. So they're 2 down. And I think another great power of yours, Joe, is not only are you talking about biographies and backs of baseball cards with these players, but you know their family histories. You know the jobs that their wives and parents worked, their hometown stories. That's why so many generations of Red Sox players have so respected you, as Anthony Volpe takes a fastball inside for ball 1.
One of my great thrills to this day is when former players come up to the broadcast booth and go on with us.
I'll never forget when Manny Ramirez just about suffocated you with hugs.
What a bear hug.
1-0 pitch is a strike on the outside corner, and it's 1-1. But they all come, quite literally, Joe, to pay tribute to you. And they did that in Cooperstown. Mike Lowell, Rich Hill, David Ortiz, Pedro.
Well, in some cases, I'm the only one that's still there from their playing days.
1-1. It's a little bit high, 2-1.
But,
and, of course, that's another one of your many charms, that you always quick with a laugh and do not take yourself too seriously, nor make yourself the story. But we're about to make you the story in just a minute. The 2-1 pitch is high, popped up on the third base side, back of the plate. Jansen runs out of room. It's into the seats. Yeah, it's 2-2.
I am getting nervous.
Yeah, me too, to be honest. Beautiful sunshiny Sunday afternoon at Yankee Stadium, a place that Joe has come to so many times. In fact, the old Yankee Stadium, the site of Joe's first ever Major League game. 6 years old. He's at the old stadium. And here across the road, more than 70 years later, the 2-2 pitch is popped into right field toward the line. Back on it goes the first baseman, Connor Wong, but it's into the seats and out of play. And it stays 2-2.
Now, we mentioned that yesterday, 1953, the first game here. Well, down from Hamden, Connecticut, across the Merritt Parkway. Jerry Coleman Day.
You would also come down to Arthur Avenue with aunts and uncles, sneak over to games at Yankee Stadium. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cutter throws, and Volpe pops it up. Foul again, straight back.
Funny how we find the Italian neighborhoods, these cities.
Well, and that is a habit and a tradition that you have kept going.
Last night in the Greenwich Village, and then we had a wonderful treat to hear Pete Caldera, the New York baseball writer, sing Sinatra in a nightclub.
He looks the part, he sounds the part, perfect tuxedo. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Playing at the Carnegie Club on 56th Street.
Well, that was emotional, too, because he closed with My Way. And I just looked at you and thought about how all these years you have done it exactly your way. 2-2 to Anthony Volpe, the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him inning over. And Cutter walks off with the Red Sox trailing 4-0. But we've been dancing around it, Joe. Take it away.
Okay, well, I never thought this day would come. And after 42 years and some 6,500 games, I think it's time to hang up the microphone, at least on a regular basis, and announce the retirement here. It's something I never really thought I'd do, because usually in this industry you were told when to go. But in this case, everyone's been so kind and so understanding that I did bring this up. to Sam Kennedy and Colin Birch of the Red Sox and Mike Thomas at Odyssey in recent days. And they were very, very gracious in accepting my decision to retire for the most part, and also to do whatever I want to do. And I will continue with the Red Sox in an ambassador type role, making appearances at special events, fantasy camps, spring training, and BOS Sox Club luncheons, and whatever else they have in mind. It should be a lot of fun, and I'll keep those relationships going. I've had so many great thrills here. So many great thrills. Met so many wonderful people. Certainly will miss the association with baseball people on a daily basis, including my partner Will Flemming and Dave O'Brien in the TV booth, and all those people in the front office that have been so kind and so helpful over the years. So we'll be with you the rest of the year, and we'll even be available if there's any need when you want a day off next year to sit in for you. But it's going to be certainly an adjustment, but I think it's time to spend more time at home with my bride of 53 years, Jan, and my 3 kids, their spouses, and the 6 grandkids.
What an incredible legacy. We're on to the 4th. Romy Gonzalez leads it off. Joe, you talk about what a thrill it's been for you. Romy grounds one up the middle. Shortstop Volpe has it. He throws to first. In time, one away. Well, I
appreciate your sentiments.
I can tell you, not only has it been a thrill for me, but for so many Red Sox fans. The narration of so many great life memories, taking through highs and lows as Raffy digs in.
Well, the great thing about Red Sox Nation is they're very, very accepting, but they also want you to be truthful, and you have to have credibility to relate to Red Sox Nation, and that's something that I've always tried to establish.
Well, you've had that in spades, Joe, as Raffy takes strike one. That's something you imparted to me from day one when you so graciously welcomed me. Raffy rips one into left field. Well, that's fitting. One of your all-time favorites. Yep. Rips a base hit into left field. He's aboard with the Red Sox first hit, so they don't walk him in the 4th inning with 1 out and the base is empty, but he rips a hit into left field. But, Joe, how often, I know you've heard, but I know this, that you have been the soundtrack for so many summers for people, whether they're throughout New England, across the world, through the highs and the lows. And I know that Red Sox Nation hears you, and they hear a friend, a trusted friend, as Tyler O'Neill takes strike at the top of the zone.
Well, I've always been proud of the fact that Red Sox fans can tell. They tell me that they can tell whether the Red Sox are winning or losing by the tone of my voice. Would not work in network television, but they know where my heart is.
It's a great gift. Here's the 0-1 to O'Neill. Misses inside. And it is important to sort of underline the fact this is not a forever goodbye. You're going to be around not only the ballpark and the Red Sox, whether spring training, the Legends Suite, and all those great places, but moreover, you're going to be back in this booth.
I never figured I'd be working in my 77th year either.
1-1 is swung on and missed. Fastball to O'Neill, and it's 1-2.
And I am not the oldest by any means in baseball broadcasting today. But it's been a thrill. I've been blessed to be there for the best era in Red Sox history. 4 World Championships in 15 years. How can you beat it?
Can you believe it? Fouled back to the screen.
That's right. It's seen so many great moments, great players, and so many wonderful friendships that I've had with players over the years.
We're going to play some of your biggest moments as the broadcast carries on. O'Neill asks for time. It's 4-0 Yankees. Top 4. In case you're just joining us, Joe is announcing today that after this season, he will no longer have a full broadcast schedule. Moving to the next phase as a Red Sox ambassador and legend. The 1-2 to O'Neill is grounded foul outside of third. I'm going to save a lot of this for the end of the season, that last home game where we will honor you on the field at Fenway Park. And as our fans now can tell, if I get further into this, I won't anyway, make it through the game. 1-2 to Tyler O'Neill. That's how much Joe's meant to me. Devers leading at first. The pitch. High fastball, and it's 2-2. But, Joe, we're going to hear those clips, and all of them, you just rise up and meet the moment, which I know is something you're so proud of. 2-2 to O'Neill.
Well, you have true love of the game, and that's a big factor.
Pitch. Swinging a pop-up. On the infield, foul on the first base side. Trevino runs out of room. It's into the seats, and it stays 2-2. Can you just take us back to the moment in 2004 in St. Louis? It was 3-0. The Red Sox were going to win that series, but still, after all the highs and lows, you were in the clubhouse at Shea in '86 thinking that champagne was about to be popped. You saw Aaron Boone hit a home run across the street in '03. 2-2 to O'Neill. The pitch is swung on and fouled. So then, a year later in St. Louis, how are you feeling in that moment?
Well, I took nothing for granted, of course. We know Red Sox history, but I really felt, Anthony talks about being in the zone, I really felt I was in the zone in that ninth inning. A bomb could have gone off next to me and I wouldn't have noticed.
That's not unlike other days. The 2-2 is drilled high and deep into left field. This thing is way back, and that one is for Joe. 2-run homer for Tyler O'Neill, and the Red Sox cut the lead in half. It is 4-2.
Sweet music. Those boos in Yankee Stadium. Wow, he crushed it.
And what an at-bat from O'Neill.
29th home run allowed by Rodon.
He and Raffy almost broke each other's elbows celebrating at the plate. And 31 homers. They are coming in bunches for T.O. The Red Sox needed that in the worst way, so now 4-2, and here comes Connor Wong. It's amazing, across the street, Joe, at the old stadium, you so rarely heard that sound with the Red Sox in town. Wong butts it on the third base side. Rodon over to the line, bare hands, throws it low, and it's a bunt single for Connor Wong. What a beautiful idea and execution from Connor Wong.
Probably get the tying run to the plate and a hot hitter, Yoshida. It's a high fastball that he drilled. He really nailed it.
But you've told me so many times you could quite literally feel the ghosts in the old building and almost expecting bad things to happen.
Not so here. This is a different atmosphere, much more intercepting.
Here's Yoshida with 1 on and 1 out, 2 runs in. He takes a strike on the outside corner. I just looked down at my scorecard. I've not written a single thing in this inning, so I have to go back and...
You can copy mine.
Well, that's hard to do since you write in hieroglyphics. Oh, and 1 to Massa. Here's the pitch, and he swings and misses at a slider, and it's 0-2.
You know, it was great Christmas gifts, making copies of my scorecard, having them framed, and giving them special people. Roger Clemens, Brian Daubach, and Pedro, many others.
0-2 misses outside. It's a very thoughtful gesture, and I've seen those. They're in these beautiful frames. It's a great thought, except they have no idea what's written on the page.
The printing is hardly legible.
4-2 Yanks. 1 on, 1 out. Pitch is looped into shallow center field. Coming on is Judge. He will not get there. It's a base hit. Wong is up to second, and the tying runs are on board. Red Sox feeling the spirit of Joe Castig in this inning. By the way, just noticed Alex Cora, unsurprisingly, he so often wears the pullover in the dugout. Today, not so, because he wants to show proudly that he's wearing number 21.
He never met Roberto, too young, but his dad knew him very well. His dad was a broadcaster and started the Little League in Caguas, Puerto Rico.
Matt Blake is out to the mound to talk things over with Rodon, who's now thrown 50 pitches. It's 4-2 Red Sox. We're discussing the fact that Joe Castig today is announcing that after this season, after 42 years as the voice of the Red Sox, he will step back into a different ambassador role with the Red Sox. We're not letting him off the hook. We want him around whenever and as often as he wants to be here.
You'll see me.
Now an opportunity for Trevor Story.
But the Red Sox have been so gracious about that, and so was Odyssey. And as I said, letting me call the shots on my own. And most of us don't go out that way in baseball, as as a whole, really. It's certainly in broadcasting.
If anybody deserves that, it is you. Here's Story with 2 on and 1 out. The pitch is a strike in there with a slider, and it's 0-1.
And, besides giving time back to the family, you want to go out before you lose your fastball.
Well, you have definitely not done that. On 1 to Story. Called out on strikes his first time. 2 on, 1 out. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He got 2 of those big curveballs his first time, then was frozen on a fastball. He's behind here 0-2. The reason the Red Sox did that, Joe, the reason that I know Red Sox Nation today is so sad is because of the sincerity, kindness, humility with which you've handled all of them for all these years. 0-2. Pitch.
It's been an honor.
Fouled on the third base side. Almost took Kyle Hudson's head off because this is a business on the field and in the booth that is so often driven by ego, and it just never has been by you.
Well, you're a reporter first. That's the job. You have to communicate what's happening to Red Sox Nation.
Best fans anywhere. We'll have the rest of the season to continue to honor Joe. We'll do it throughout this afternoon as well. Again, final home game at Fenway Park, day of the year. A wonderful on-field presentation to commemorate all of your contributions.
That'll be exciting.
Jansen walked his first time. The pitch is outside. You were so funny at the Hall of Fame with all these friends and family and players and tributes. You said it's like being able to attend your own funeral.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I felt like. And with some of the texts and emails I'm getting, and they've been put out by Tom Werner, Sam Kennedy, and John Henry.
1-0 is chopped softly to third. Coming in, Chisholm. He's got a long throw to first, and it's in time wide to get Jansen. And the inning is over. Well, Joe, it's been the honor of my lifetime to work with you. I'm so glad we have the rest of this season, and everything that is coming your way is so well deserved.
Maybe another Italian dinner on the road.
Over to TV. We'll be back for the bottom of the fourth. 4-2. Yankees lead the Red Sox.
Well, the Red Sox jump back into game TO with a blast. This feels awfully familiar to me. I can tell you that, sitting next to the great Joe Castiglione, who has joined us in the TV booth after making a major announcement moments ago on radio. Joe.
Yes, of course, I spent 9 great years with you and saw every game you ever played for the Red Sox.
First one in there for a called strike on Cabrera. So moments ago, you did something that you've been thinking about for a long time, and the announcement is out there now. Maybe you can share it with our television audience too.
Now, I foul back, and after 42 seasons, and I think somewhere about 6,500 games, I've decided to retire from a regular broadcast schedule. I'll still be around. Red Sox have been so gracious. They're letting me continue as an ambassador, doing special events or whatever they have in mind. They're still formulating that, and maybe even fill in on an occasional game here or there. Give Will Flemming a break. And
well, let me be one of the first to say congratulations on a magnificent career, a Hall of Fame career. You went into Cooperstown this year, as everybody knows. I think your timing, as always, is spot on. This is a great time. If you're going to walk away from the booth, do it right now, right?
yes.
Line down the right field line, but he hooked that one off into the stands. Foul.
But you don't normally get the opportunity in baseball, and certainly in broadcasting, to decide when, because it's usually done for you.
Right.
And the other thing is, you want to go out when you still have your fastball.
Right.
So I think it's time to give more time back at home.
So that's the number one thing,
Yeah.
right? I mean, your lovely wife Jan.
53 years come November.
53 years. You've raised such a wonderful family, but you know, Jan would like you home a little bit.
She would, and my kids, grandkids would like me at their games a little more.
Although your grandkids love to come to the ballpark.
They do.
Love to be in the booth.
And they'll still be there. They love the ice cream machine in the media dining room.
They're not alone. Yeah. Not alone.
But you know, I've had so many great players to cover it. Certainly, Yuk was an all-time favorite.
Oh,
Remember,
nice.
we talked about his first home run, which I called in 2004 at Rogers Center in Toronto.
Cabrera two-hopper here to Gonzalez, and one man gone. What do you think is the thing you'll miss the most about being in the booth every day?
Being with you guys, the baseball relationships, the friendships, hanging out in the dugout or on the field, and just talking baseball with baseball people. I think that's probably what I think I'll miss the most. I miss the games too and the competitiveness of it.
Trevino, the hitter, and we'll fly this one to shallow left. Raffy going out. Story coming in behind him, and Trevor makes the play and foul ground. 2 down. Top of the order, and Torres will be next. I know that one thing I'm going to miss tremendously is what we did last night. We got together, we had dinner, we ate at a great Italian spot here in the city. You and I have done that often over the years, and it's one of the highlights of my career.
Well, certainly we'll miss that aspect of it too, because it makes trips so much more enjoyable when you have the opportunity to do that with a day game, especially in a city that never sleeps.
Yes. Labor Torres, he'll look at a strike.
But I've been so blessed to have the period of time, the 42 years where the Red Sox have done so many wonderful things, so many great moments. Who could beat 4 world championships in 15 years? I mean, that's the ultimate. Can you believe it?
Which was your great call in 04 to Cabot. Not the first time you used that.
No, I probably used it, didn't realize. I do remember it on Bill Miller's walk-off home run against Mariano Rivera in July of that year.
Most famously, though, when the Red Sox finally won the World Championship and ended 86 years of torture.
And you know, Uke was a big reason. We're talking about this yesterday. Your home run, down 3-1 with the Red Sox in 07 in the ALCS, and you. I think we were the second batter of the game, homered off Sabathia.
Yeah,
that started the turnaround.
We just kept going after that. I think what us players miss is we know we had a great game and we got to talk to you after it.
Well, we always appreciate it when you came on.
Joe, I know you get a run back. Joe brings his scorebook over, which is incredible. Nobody else does that when they're doing something like that.
Beautiful penmanship, too.
Well, that's the other thing.
Where did you learn yours?
Joe, you're the best. Love you dearly, man, and
thank you so much, everybody. And, you know, I love NESN. I was there doing basketball when they first signed on the air.
Long time ago.
1984. So I've had many thrills, and we'll be around for a while. So we'll see you in the future. So thanks so much for having me.
Joe, congratulations.
Congrats, Joe.
The great Joe Castiglione.